Hello everybody, this is Lindsay, otherwise known as Crystal Pink. I'm here today to show off the progress with Songs of Magic, Secret of the Soul and Spark. This is the project I've been working on for my spring project management class. As it stands, I have the initial characters colored and ready, the storyboard laid out, and some of the voice actors picked. If you've kept up with the project on my site, crystalpinkstudios.com, you'll have seen their original concepts. However, two of the designs have since then changed, and they'll be swapped for who you are seeing today. The largest changes came with the character Lume. Now, they used to be presented as a woman, but instead of that, I decided to go for them being non-binary, since LGBTQ representation has only been in mainstream media recently and still not as very prominent as it should be. With their color concept, I also wanted to consider putting the flag in there, which I did with their drawstrings. They are an elemental magic user, and they use this wand mostly for their magic, along with these beads on their belts. The next character is, of course, Poppy, who many have seen on the social media site as she's one of the biggest images. She is a puppet magic user, as you can see through the drawstrings that lead to what would be a magic device in the back of her head. And in the color palette, it may be obvious to see that she's a femme lesbian. The last character would in fact be Ryder. He is a trans male and an animal magic user. For his design, the key point would be his trans masculine belt to indicate his gender identity. Now, his design had changed the least between the two because I did strongly like the hairstyle and such that I had used. I just changed the design to fit the masculine, more masculine look that I was going for with him. Now, I will also be showing off the storyboarding for the trailer. It starts off with a dark and blank, empty area that ends up popping into this large text that is talking about how the world needs help. Because when I was doing studies on trailers that introduce characters, it was a point to talk about some of the plot that goes on, and then it would kind of lead into the idea of how then the characters themselves would be introduced. Pardon me. First, we would start off with Poppy, since she's considered to be the first character that you will interact with in the game. And I also wanted to include the idea of having little emotes that show off her emotions, or at least how you would perceive her personality. And then going from that, it would also pop up the symbol that would represent her magic, hers obviously being puppet magic as previously discussed. And then it would switch over to Lume. Now they are a more reserved character, so their emotes would be more skittish and scared, and in interacting with them, you would probably have to earn their trust a lot more before they'd be willing to work with you. And they are an elemental magic user, so their symbol will probably have a combination of like the three core elemental magics that you would see. And then it ends off with Ryder, who is shown off being very sporty, very like loud, and he's more seen as like the flirty kind of character, but he's also just a big scaredy cat. We gotta make that fun. And then seeing his symbol would be the animal magic symbol, which could be cat, a bunny. I'm still kind of debating on what it would be. The last thing I did want to consider was how you would interact with the characters, and I decided to go with something along the lines of a dating sim sort of vibe, where you would talk with them and you'd be able to see their character making expressions and have the text at the bottom. And in the trailer, it would be like, oh, you have to gain their trust for them to work with you. So Poppy would have voice lines in this section where it would also pop up a prompt that if this were an actual game, you would click on the prompt to elicit a reaction from Poppy that would be positive or negative. And as with most characters, there's the option that she may not work with you because she does not yet trust you. And then it would end off with you have to work together with them to find out who stole the magic. And then it would just end with the name of the trailer or for the game, which would be Secrets of the Stolen Spark, and coming in 2022. Now, if you keep up with the social media blog on my website, that is Crystal Pink Studios, it's under Project Management, There will be more posts about this project as I go through it and continue to make progress, so keep an eye out for that. And I may even be releasing the voice line soon.